Alright, I'm here again at the Giant Turd. Okay, so welcome to episode 13. I was wrong before. Well, I was wrong the last episode. I thought I was in episode 11, but I was actually in episode 12. Okay, let's try to do this again. I already tried this. I already did this the second time and I failed. It's actually pretty hard. I don't know. I guess you need to save up your speed, your stamina. That is. I think you need to save up your stamina till you get to the last one. Or you just need to go as fast as you can. Yeah, I just need to go faster. Come on. Okay, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's skip all this. Come on, I can do it. Yeah. The skirt thing. Just come on. Come on, the stupid damn music too. Let's get the hell out of here. Come on! Come on! Screw you and your damn music. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Screw it. Just run. Oh, I think I could do it. Oh, I made it. Ah, okay. Kishinuma grabbed onto my arm and tried to pull me free from the object. The music might be a little too loud, but okay. But within its depths, there was a little girl with black eyes, and she was staring right at us. Come on, why does that be a little girl? Ah! Oh no, it's a little girl! The sight was unnerving. But he didn't flinch for long. He continued pulling, desperately trying to free me from becoming part of this pillar's makeup. Yeah, let's get out of here. Whew! I need a save. I mean a candle. Yeah, I need a candle.
なんだありゃ。おい、大丈夫か。
早くここから離れましょう。
Oh, come on, the music's back? What's going on now? Yeah, really, what's going on now? The music didn't affect us earlier.
頭がおかしくなりそう。
なんだ。
Yeah, let's try to beat for you too.
モータに戻りましょう。
石は結晶は拾えたか。
これ。さっきの柱の結晶よ。
Victory? Victory? That's great. No, I don't get to play it? Oh, come on. Kisaragi Academy, Class 2-9. Just prior to morning homeroom. I entered the classroom, school bag in hand, and beelined directly for Naomi. From the look on her face, she'd been waiting for me.
サトシ、おはよ
おはよう、ナオミ。どうだった篠崎は。
Naomi shook her head.
委員長の家に行ってきたら、一昨日の夜からいなくなってるって。どうしよう。やっぱり何か起きてるんだ。
Her voice quivered. No doubt memories of our time in Heavenly Hosts were resurfacing for her, just as they had been for me. Did she take her, like, Ayumi take Naomi with her last time for the Book of Shadows? In my news, there's no bear, unfortunately.
よしきもだ。隣の人にも聞いてみたが、物音がしなかったから昨日は帰ってきてないんじゃないかって。
そんな、やめてよ。やだよ。もう友達いなくなるの。
Naomi had her face completely buried in her hands at this point.
くそ。よしきの話だと、篠崎が天神賞絡みで危ない目に遭っているみたいだけど、あそこはもう存在しないはずだし。
They obviously know more than you guys at this point.
どこで何をやっているんだ、よしき、篠崎。
Yeah, I kinda hope Naomi doesn't come back into the story. I hope she just stays here. In my worry, I did what I often do when trying to clear my mind and looked out the window, staring into the cloudy sky. Huh. And suddenly, there was again, oh come on, the end of the world?
なんだあれは。
Yep, a black sun. I don't know. There's a solid black spherical object hovering in the sky. Okay, well it's not a sun, but
ナオミ、見えるか。
probably a black hole.
何あれ。
持田中島、空なんか眺めて何してる？ノートホームルール始めるぞ。
Our homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, entered the room with his usual air of authority.
今日庭先生は病欠ということで、3限の英語は自習だぞ。
Like, his voice acting is terrible, but whatever. Like, it sounds like my voice acting.
ほらお前たち、いい加減席に着かないか。どうした窓の外に何かあるのか？
Come on, you two. Get back to your seats. What are you looking at out there anyway?
先生、あの黒いの見えますか？
Nope.
なんだありゃ。
He can? You gotta be kidding me. Usually no one notices anything. If even the teacher was startled by this, it must be juicy. What? Or so all the other students seemed to think, as they began to murmur noisily and get up to see for themselves. No one else like bothered to look out the window? What?
何あれ。怖い。
It's a biological weapon.
電池だよ。
It was made by the US.
大地震来るんじゃね？おいみんな落ち着け。むやみに騒ぐんじゃない。先生、休校。
What? That guy just wants to end class early, doesn't he? This is so stupid, but sure, whatever. I'll go with it. Yeah, you damn pervs. Naomi and I looked one another in the eye. We were both thinking the same thing.
サトシ、この感じって。
はあ、嫌な予感がするな。この王冠は天神賞の気配とそっくりだ。
ほら席に着け。
After classes ended, we took a trip to what? Polonia. Oh yeah, Polonia Academy High School. Yeah, that thing. This place. We needed something to go on, some kind of clue, anything at all, really. So we just started asking around. Probably be about how Kishinuma came to stay, right? People saw him, right? Eventually, we encountered a girl who was crying profusely about some friends of hers who gone missing.
みんないなくなってミオさんっていうのね。佐江のきなこさんや三輪愛子さんと仲が良かったの？はい、いつもさやかさんと一緒に可愛がってくれて。
I guess Mio is not an important character because she doesn't have a character sprite. Like, was she mentioned before? I don't remember her. I don't know, it's been a while too. The entire time Mio spoke with us, she was trying to rub the tears from her eyes, and each time she attempted it, it made her ponytail twitch. Okay.
何が起こってるんですか？みんなどこに行っちゃったんですか？あの黒いの何？
They're inside that. Did I answer all of it? We pledged after our escape not to burden others necessarily with information about Heavenly Host, feeling that most people were simply better off not knowing.
ナオさんたちのことを調べてるってことは、きっと怖いことが起こっているのでしょう。
Why do you assume that? Have they been doing this for a while or something? Well, it is not home.
私なんかが聞いても何もできないのは分かっています。だからお願いです。みんなを助けてください。
She was actually grabbing my shirt now, and the tears are pouring from her eyes all over again.
きっとみんな苦しんでる。
You're really asking for the impossible from us. We're just normal kids. We have no powers, like the new characters, who are totally OP. Aiko Niwa, the girl we met at Makina Shinozaki's apartment. Well, maybe Niwa isn't that OP. She was last seen on fire. She seemed calm and confident, even a little full of herself. Yep. But somewhere deep down, I felt there was a chink in her armor. And I think Naomi had felt it too. Really now.
正直、俺たちも何が起こっているのかわからないんだ。でも、何か分かったら、きっと知らせに来るよ。
I guess this is Toshi. He's really good at reading characters. Mio rubbed her eyes again, her ponytail perking up once more, and looked up at us with big, wet saucers. Out of options, we elected to try the Sachiko in the Ever After ritual. That was our method of ingress into Heavenly Host last time, after all. Oh boy. With Proxy Doll in hand and my bag full of supplies at the ready, the two of us yanked our arms back as hard as we could, splitting the paper in two so that we each held a piece. Sounds like a bad idea.
ダメだな。やはりいけない。
Because at the beginning of the game, we saw a group of girls attempt it, and her spine broke. Yeah. Like right here in reality, so you might be fucked.
天神賞の呪いはやはり蹴りがついているんだよ。
そうだよね。幸子もいなくなってあの学校は崩壊したはずだもの。
いやあ、水とカロリービスケット山ほど買っちゃったぞ。
I patted my bag as if demonstrating to Naomi how much was in it. It should have been fairly obvious though, as the bag itself was practically bursting at the seams. Helicopters flew by overhead, no doubt in response to the mysterious black orb that had appeared in our sky. We watched the flurry of activity above us as we glumly left Polonia Academy High School, no closer to any answers than we were before. Maybe she looked for Miss Kuon. Miwa was her sister. I mean, not was. Is, yeah. Glancing over at Naomi, I saw the sour expression on her face and tried to imagine why she didn't want to go back home. And it wasn't hard to think of numerous reasons.
ナオミ、今日もクオン先生のところに行くのか？そうか。じゃあさ、俺ん家寄って行かないか？母さんもユカもお前のこと好きみたいだしさ。
Now, how about I haven't been like going too fast on this texting? Her expression instantly, measurably brightened. Okay.
ああ、頼むよ。ユカを喜ばせてやってくれ。
ありがとう。
We shifted direction slightly and began the relatively short-foot trek to my house. It was an ordinary and rather pleasant walk for a while, until Naomi caught sight of her mother turning the corner up ahead. At the time, I didn't realize that's who it was. Better run, Naomi. She was clasping the arm of her young man sporting a shaved head in a construction outfit, with some sort of insignia emblazoned on the back of his uniform. Wait, what? Clasping the arm of a young man sporting a shaved head in a construction outfit. No idea. She was clearly very close to this man, cuddling up to him as they walked, pulling his arm into her bosom, and even sneaking a few kisses before the pair disappeared down an alleyway.
どうした、ナオミ？
Great, we really need all that description.
なんでもない。なんでもないから。
I guess it's just to make the relationship between the two obvious. Her voice had gone up to a full octave as she said this. Clearly, something was indeed bothering her, but I had no way to know what it was in the moment, and could only take her at her word. You got bigger things to worry about, but yeah. And her word was, by all appearances, that everything was fine. She more or less closed herself off, outwardly pretending not to have seen a thing. Well, she is blind in one eye. Ha ha ha. I'm just kidding. Alright, anyways, can we go back to the game? As we drew closer to my house, we slowly began to see a strange light illuminating the area around it. And that area was different than what it had looked like this morning. To say the least, there's now a bamboo wall surrounding my house. And most notably, we now had a hot spring. So, you have a moat? What words are there for a situation like this? What? What word is that? Flummoxed? What? Maybe? What is that? I might have to look it up later.
今朝までこんなものなかったのに。なんだよ、持田の湯って。
Mochida Springs.
落ち着いて、サトシ。とりあえず中に入ってみようよ。
Oh, hold on. I went to Google. What is it? Flummoxed? Really? Flummoxed? Flummoxed. Whatever, I'm terrible at this. Bewildered or perplexed. He became flummoxed and speechless. Great. Yeah, I love Google. Immediately upon opening my front door, however, we were greeted by a sign reading, "This way to the natural springs."
はあ？
東京都上空に突然現れた巨大な黒い球体ですが、 情報本部より発表があります。
They even have a background for this. We entered the treasury room only to find Yuka naked. Yeah, that's why you don't follow the signs.
おかえりお兄ちゃん、ナオミお姉ちゃん。いいお湯だよ。
ゆうか
Yuka was holding a toy goldfish, a towel, and a small beach ball in her hands. Now I'm thinking about all those, what was it? I forgot what it was. Fan service episodes for animes.
お前何やってるんだよ
Right? The swimsuit episode, I guess? That's not the question I should have asked, but I was in too much shock for my words to come out the way I meant them to. And Yuka didn't seem to mind. She just smiled back at me, as joyful as I'd ever seen her. Yeah, I can really go without this right now.
すごいよ。
Yeah, sure it is. Go have fun. Grabbing one of each of our hands, she slid open the glass door in the back and led us into the Mochida Springs. Proper that we've just been hearing so much about. Can we not go? Can we just like go grab something to eat or something?
いやー、なかなかいい湯だね。
Yeah, who? There was another girl already soaking in the springs. A young girl, around Yuka's age, sporting a stylish hairdo. That doesn't look very stylish to me, but okay.
会ったことなかったっけ？ゆかのクラスのお友達、水原さつきちゃんだよ。よろしくね、兄くん。おっぱいばっか見ないでよね。まあ、厨房の父なんか見ても興奮しないか。あはは。プルンプルンプルン。
なんだそりゃってこらプルンプルンさせるな
Alright, but like, yep, totally don't care. Look, it was official. Nothing made any sense anymore.
何が一体どうなってるんだ
Oh, was there voice acting? I didn't hear it.
サトシ、しっかり。
His mind's about to break. Mine is too. Naomi had grabbed hold of my shoulders as if to keep me upright in case I suddenly decided to faint, which all things considered was probably a sensible precaution. Yeah, okay, I said it right. You know, even the heavenly host makes more sense in this scene. Take me back. Take me back. I want to go back to school.
素敵でしょ？
Ah, Kuon, you're too powerful. You're breaking
うお先
reality.
生
She could bend reality to her
健康
will.
にもいいし、天然の硫黄温泉は霊を遠ざけるのよ。
Really now?
お昼までに作っておいてねって頼んでおいたの。うちの工事事業部、優秀でしょう。
Did you have to do this at my house?
何勝手にそんなことしてんの
I pointed my finger at her in an accusatory manner, as was the style at the time.
あら、サトシおかえり。ナオミちゃんもいらっしゃい。お邪魔してます。
Suddenly, I found myself shuddering down to my core as my mom appeared before us wearing nothing but a bath towel.
母さん
Her skin was bright pink and she seemed to be in very high spirits. Okay. By the looks of things, she was in the spring herself until just moments before we arrived, when she evidently stepped out to the kitchen to get a very large number of beverages. Oh, I see.
あのさ飲み物取りに行くならちゃんと体拭いてから行けよびしょびしょじゃないか
さあみんな飲んで。
Yuka and Satsuki, however, were also in very high spirits,
あ
as was Miss Kuon.
ーみんなで写メ撮りましょう。持田の湯竣工記念よ。みんな並んで。せーチーズ。
Jesus.
チーズ。
We really do have a picture. Naomi and I were forced into frame as well. Like it or not, we were now party to this madness. Yeah. Our eyes were basically pricks at this point. None of this seemed like none of this seemed even remotely real, and neither Naomi nor I had any idea how to react to it. Okay. That was hard for me to read. I took the drink my mom handed me, and without even checking what it was, I checked down a few gulps. I was thirstier than I thought, apparently.
なんだこれ、何味だ？
There was a white, thick liquid inside the milk bottle I was given. It had a faint tint to it when viewed under the right light, but like the flavor, I can't quite identify it.
この色、フルーツ牛乳か？
I turned the bottle to read the label. Apparently, it was Niwa flavored. Fantastic. Niwa flavored. I have a bad feeling about that.
先生、この度はこんなに素敵な温泉を作っていただきありがとうございます。もういつでも入りに来てくださいね。あ、これうちの鍵です。あら、ありがとうございます、お母様。
She called her mother. Oh my.
母さん！
でも本当にいいんですか？もちろん、持田の湯を作ってくださったのは先生なんですから、年間フリーパスですわ。
母さん！
that was interesting, I guess. That night, we're still in his storyline. Come on, I found myself tossing and turning in my futon. I just couldn't get to sleep for the life of me, so I tossed the covers aside and got up.
風呂入ろう。
I was thinking that too for some reason. This had been the craziest day I could recall in this world, anyway. After all the commotion had died down and our many guests had departed, Dad had come home, and predictably was in the springs right away with a carafe, however, of his favorite sake. Okay. I had a hard time justifying Miss Kuon's arbitrary actions, not to mention my family's utter willingness to accept them. But in the end, I had to admit, the hot spring was pretty nice. The rest of my family was all still sleeping, so the house was dead silent. I took off my clothes in the dressing room and slid open the glass door, and there, sitting on the edge of the spring, completely uncovered, was Miss Kuon. Oh, great. My face instantly turned bright red. She was a fairly attractive woman, after all, so being alone with her like this was kind of exciting. Haha, I get it. Though look at her now, entirely exposed that she was, revealed to me that she was, well, to me that this shapely woman wasn't quite as shapely as I assumed. Yeah, I'm looking too. It's like, wow. Her body was abnormally, warily, whatever, abnormally thin. She was the definition of gaunt, looking every bit the part of an infirmed elderly woman from the neck down. And I could have sworn I caught a slight glint from the corner of her eyes. She didn't seem to notice me, so I was half tempted to slide the door closed and pretend none of this had ever happened. But no, I had to come clean.
先生。
あらサトシくん
Despite the fact that I was a much younger man and her student, no less, she made absolutely no effort to hide her nakedness. In fact, she actually seemed a little excited to be seen this way. Huh.
こんな時間になんでうちの風呂に入ってるんです？
Well, she built it.
ごめんね起こしちゃったかな。
いえ、そんなことはじゃなくて。ナオミはどうしてるんですか？
うちでぐっすり眠ってたわ。今日もお家に連絡を入れたら中島さんのお母さん少し落ち着かれていたみたい。
よかった。
I was legitimately relieved, but I was also having trouble concentrating on the conversation. It took every ounce of focus I had to avert my eyes from the things I knew I shouldn't be staring at. Oh, okay.
先生、隠してよ。
あ、そっか。ごめんね。
She immediately got up from her spot and dunked herself in the water up to her neck. Due to its mineral content, this was a very effective means of at least partially scaring her body.
ねえ、サトシくんこそそんな格好で寒くない？早くお湯に浸かりなよ。
うわっ！
I panicked at the realization that I, too, was completely naked right now. Everyone's naked, don't worry. It's fine. I covered myself with my hands and I could feel the blood rushing to my face, turning me what I was quite certain must have been an incredible shade of red. I need to whatever. Recovering as best as I could from that embarrassment, I stepped into the water, choosing my spot carefully so as to put some distance between myself and Miss Kuon.
先生、今泣いてた？なんかそんな気がしてさ。気のせいならいいんだけど。
あのね、時間が止まったらいいのになって思って。
Huh.
ねえ先生、どうしてこんなことを？SP の警護とか温泉とかなんか俺の常識を超えててさ、気になりだしたら全然眠れなくなって。
It's obviously for protection, although it's a little bit overboard, but yes.
知りたいのは理由かな？それとも私の素性？
both would be nice, I thought.
理由はね、守り
Oh,
たい
come
から
on.
それで
See? Like I said.
守るって何から？
Heavenly host? I don't know. I mean, it's pretty obvious something's going on.
そういえば私の素性ってクラスのみんなには話していなかったっけ？
ええ、まあ。
私ね、以前はとある企業の会社役員だったんだけど、会長になった後、どうしても諦めきれなかった昔からの夢だった教師になったの。
企業の会長だからこんなに資金力があるのか。あの飲み物もそれじゃあ先生の会社の庭味って。
ええ、うちの商品よ。ゆかちゃんみたいに牛乳かヨーグルトかフルーツ牛乳かコーヒー牛乳か迷っちゃう子が全部の味を楽しめるようにって作ったの。
That's a terrible idea! Just make a decision! Damn kids.
はあ、
Just
なるほ
pick
ど。
something.
ね、これで悩みも解決でしょ？
That's why a Hearthstone only has 9 deck slots.
先生の考え方って理にかなってて正しいのかもしれないけど、発想が前のめりすぎだよな。
I scratched my head.
どうしたの？
ああ、いや、カレーのことを思い出してました。
カレー？
I don't know why, but this moment actually feels really pleasant, and I actually don't mind it now, compared to earlier. She seemed genuinely confused. I guess to her, the idea of feeding me pretty true curry was just another stroke of brilliance, maybe. Not at all, something that might keep a poor high school boy like myself up at night.
それにしてもクオン先生って一体いくつなんだ？
I really wanted to know, but couldn't bring myself to ask something so rude of a lady, even if I'm sure she wouldn't have minded. The more I thought about it, though, the more intrigued I was by this enigma. I began shiftily turning my gaze toward her in short intervals, examining her body for clues. Man, you're really good at that, alright. Her face had the texture and hue of a woman in her early 20s. But her body was another story. All of her skin was as smooth and beautifully toned as that of her face, but there was so little behind it, rich, fully exposed in every detail. Even down towards her abdomen, I could make out round indentations where her internal organs were practically jutting out. Wow. There's no muscle, no fat, just skin and bones, literally. Her proportions just didn't match up with one another. She was like a construct built out of spare parts. I felt almost as if this person soaking before me weren't even entirely human. That's like some way to put it. Miss Kuon suddenly let out a mischievous giggle. Crap, did she catch me staring?
何ですか？
私ね、君たちの副担任になった初日のこと忘れられないの。
My memory there was obviously a lot different from hers. Kuon Niwa wasn't even a part of it. the TA who showed up that day in my mind was and always would be Yui. She though. I could still vividly remember her tripping on the step up to the teacher's desk and tearing her skirt. She had to hold the rear of it together with a safety pin for the entire day. And even though we were now living a different reality, a world without Miss Yui, Shinohara, Suzumoto, or Morishige, we had no memories of the alternate events from this existence. So what happened to you in this timeline? Sounds like the you in this timeline got erased. Ever wonder that? Wait, what? Did I hear anything?
はい。
Sorry, but I didn't hear that. Did she really? Or is that just really quick? Yeah, it sounds like it's really quick.
サトシくん大好きよ。
My mind went completely blank. My eyes were swimming in my head, and I couldn't even see straight from the heat of the water. I had to have misunderstood her.
何がですか？
Miss Kuon smiled widely, and her cheeks turned a rosy red hue. Here on this, it looks like she's frowning. Okay, but only for a split second. Oh, okay. Then she was back to looking wistful again. Yeah. Pangs of undue guilt and dread began to well up inside of me. I knew what the next word out of her mouth was going to be. Miss Kuon was almost like a mask of innocence as she spoke that single word. Her eyes locked onto mine and froze them solid. I couldn't look away.
やだな。冗談はやめてくださいよ。風呂上がったらちゃんと自分の家に帰ってくださいね。あと近いです。
I was dumbfounded. I immediately, very quickly, got out of the bath and headed for the dressing room. This was all just too weird. It's a little sooner than I was expecting, I think. I don't know, whatever. I looked back at Miss Kuon and, unsurprisingly, she seemed almost deflated. She was looking down at the water in a state of utter dejection. I turned to face her, still feeling a strange mix of guilt and awkwardness, but allowing the guilt to dominate for a moment.
先生。
冗談じゃないのに。
After saying this, she closed her eyes and turned bright red, and I was pretty sure it wasn't from the heat. Despite her physique, she seemed like a schoolgirl in that moment. I began to waver in my convictions. I felt like I had to justify not returning her sentiment.
だって俺先生のこと何も知らないし。
I wonder if she knew a different Satoshi than the one right now. Is that why she's in love with him? See, she twitched a little at this. Had I gone too far? Was I supposed to know more about her in this reality than I actually did? Yeah. Oh boy. After the longest few seconds in recent memory, her head drooped and a look of absolute sadness washed over her face. I've never seen her like this before.
しまった。
I didn't mean to hurt her. She had to have known that. But what she didn't know, and what I couldn't really explain, was that I'd only been a part of this reality for a very, very short time now. So I genuinely didn't know anything about her. I tried to think of a way to convey this to her, but my mind kept drawing blanks. it was all just too absurd, too fantastical, too implausible.
先生、あの、
いいの。びっくりさせてごめんね。
She slowly turned her back to me. Oh. Part of me was relieved by her acceptance, I guess? But another part of me was still absolutely riddled with guilt. I probably would be too in that situation. Probably would never end up in that situation, but just saying. There was a moment of silence, and then Miss Kuon's white, waterproof wristwatch broke it with a sudden loud beep. Oh, okay. I thought I said wristwatch broke. All the sadness in her expression gave way to surprise as the numbers on the watch display, which I realized now hadn't changed this whole time, began counting down. What? I felt so. Did time really stop? It felt almost as if I'd been saved by the bell, so to speak, and forced a small laugh, hoping that this interruption might help move the topic away from me. Okay, I don't think time stopped, but I don't know. What the hell was it saying then?
先生、その時計何？なんか測ってるの？
She smiled.
研究よ。カウントは止まっていたんだけれど、また動き出したわ。
は。
カウント？研究って、ああ、会社の？
そう。
There's so much more to her story, but I don't think we will have any answers right now. There's something about the smile of hers that was strangely haunting. It would come to leave a lasting impression on me.
さて、それじゃあ私帰るね。今日はサボっちゃったけど、明日は学校行くから、また明日ね。
先生。なんか先生のおかげでナオミもユカもすごく元気になってます。
よかった。
多分俺もヨシキも篠崎もありがとうございます。
Thank you for healing my friends' wounds in this strange new world. Is what I was trying to convey, and somewhere deep down, I think the sentiment got through.
嬉しい、そう言ってもらえて。私こそありがとう、サトシくん。
With that, she slowly and meticulously waded her way to the edge of the spring.
うっしゃ。
At which point, she stepped out of the water directly in front of me.
だから隠してくださいってば。
やだ、ごめん。
Well, that wasn't so bad. Very long, but wasn't so bad. Episode's pretty much over. Let's get to a save point. Yeah, Mac! I have a bad feeling about this. Quick, let's go find that save point. Let's press that candle. Yeah, let's just go outside. Let's go out that hallway. Like, I don't know where the music room and all that is. In the pub room. I got a music key room. I want to go back inside the gym. I don't think it'll let me, will it? Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, let's just save it. I really want to save it. I don't want to do that turd. that turd stuff again. Yeah, I don't want to see all that again. I mean, I won't have to. I'll just skip it, but I just don't want to go through it again. Let's go quickly for our next episode. All right. So if I sound a little different, well, that's because. Okay, so I think last episode I already stated how I got a new motherboard, new motherboard installed, and a new CPU. All right. So the thing is, okay, so my old sound card that I was using. Let's see. The motherboard doesn't have a PCI slot, so I cannot install it. I cannot install it on my current motherboard because I'm an idiot who didn't check to see if it had, the right slots. Yeah, I totally forgot about the sound card and said, well, I'm just gonna buy this motherboard, and not check if everything fits. I mean, I only care about the video card. I didn't care about the sound card, but now, so right now I'm using the onboard sound. Yeah, for my mic and all that. And I don't know, it's been pretty difficult to get the way it used to be. I think it sounds alright right now, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna have to get a new one just so I can fit into my freaking motherboard. Hopefully I have the right slots too. Well, anyways, I get it. It does have a PCI Express slot, so yeah. Anyways, oh, and also, okay, so I guess. Okay, so I upload episode 12. I guess that's technically, my first video for the new year. I already have this one. I already consider this one because I recorded that before the new year, and I just released it now because, well, I'm an idiot. Like I was releasing other things first, like my cousin playing Amnesia. If you haven't seen that, well, I guess that's okay. It's just, my nephew came over. Again, he comes over a lot, and this time he came over for Christmas and I said, hey, do you want to try Amnesia? So yeah, I have tried Amnesia. It went pretty well. Whatever. Anyways, I'll rant more about that next episode probably, if there's time.